It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talk Flicks podcast. I'm your host, Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. And ladies and gentlemen, this past week, I went back into outer space. I saw worlds that were strange, and I boldly went there. Yes, I'm gonna get on to that. The first couple things. I want to give a shout to Columbus, Ohio. Got some plays in Columbus, Ohio this past week. Gracias, gratitude, Torba, and Columbus. One of my boys from back in the day, my homeboys. One of the dudes I got this whole rap started with, this rhyme started with this podcasting, where the empire was built. Because they have an empire. Where this all started. My boy lives in that. He used to be in the Michigan area. He's been all over the place, doing this thing, flying here, traveling there. His home base now is Columbus. A dude I've known for a long time. This podcast, my rhymes would not be the same without meeting this gentleman and knowing this gentleman and doing work. I mean, we did a lot of music together back in the day. Had a class with him. Super cool dude. Love this dude. Phenomenal. I think he's close to retirement. Great dude. Love you, man. I appreciate you. So yeah, he's in your city. So that means your city's awesome. He wouldn't go and see it's not awesome. And I saw he went to some concerts over there too. Super cool dude. So I hope maybe you run into him. So I just appreciate you. Thank you. That's his gratitude. And additionally, this episode is brought to you by the song called Just Manifested Creativity by JMC4. Yes, JMC4 does a song called Just Manifested Creativity. It's under the House of Cortez imprint. Now, at this imprint of existing fiction, there's going to be more crazy, abstract, wild type of soundscapes. A little different than the existing fiction releases. And then also, too, probably most likely to be exclusively on Bandcamp and Audio Mac and YouTube. They could have like a global release for these things. More of an intimate, super underground, avant-garde, more than existing fiction is. So EIF is already that, but we're even going deeper. Like, it's going to get wildly crazy. We're just going some crazy places with these things. So anyways, this is one of the first releases. The other one was the Lucha of Language by me, Che Mysterio. And so we're going to be dropping all types of interesting things. I'm going to see if I get rhyme artists to drop out of their print. He might. I'm going to talk to him about it. See if he wants to get down there and do some crazy, weird stuff. So anyways, it's brought to you by the track called Just Manifesting Creativity by JMC4. I'll put it below. Check it out. Now, let's get to the podcast. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I went back to space because I saw Captain Pike and Company Strange Worlds again, and this episode was absolutely magnificent. Now, let me just say this before I get into the episode. I had said a decade ago, maybe, it might have been 8 years, so a while back, I had said that people need to do shows in black and white. Now, I know Voyager went there for some of the episodes with that Dr. Shivango or Flash Gordon type, they can't remember the name of it. They went there, but modernly, a lot of people wouldn't go there until Spider-Man. Spider-Man, the one on Amazon, great show, by the way. Love that they went noir and black and white. And I've been saying this for like a decade plus. It says someone's got to do this. Strange New Worlds went there. This episode is a very noir, black and white vibe. Now they explain it with the science because somehow they get this planet, the visual light is seen because of science and lights and asteroids or whatever. So the visuals are black and white. So they explain it that way. But the episode itself, spoiler, feels like France in World War II. The resistance versus the axis of evil, whatever they call it, right? It really felt World War II. It's one of the more espionage episodes we had in a long time. Now, Section 31, the movie is an espionage movie, but it's not like old school. This is very old school vibes. It's like they took a piece of the action from TOS and maybe blended it with maybe a little bit of Deep Space Nine, a little bit of spy storytelling, World War II storytelling. It's very good, great episode. In fact, I'm a member of a espionage fan group on Facebook. They talk about the episode. Now, generally, they never talk about Star Trek ever. This is the first time I've ever seen post about Star Trek. I was like, wow, did not expect to see that here. Because generally, they don't cover Star Trek at all. Even though Star Trek does have some, espionage episodes, they never talk about it. So I was on the group, I was like, bro, these guys are talking about Star Trek here. I was like, amazing. Because they saw that it was very espionage-esque. And as someone that's been down the rabbit hole of espionage books and podcasts and movies and all these things and interviews and all these, it really is. So this is a phenomenal episode. And of course, because I felt like espionage stuff, it's a great episode. Then what I want to do, like I always do, is I want to get into some things about the show that I liked. And let me just say this. Okay, first of all, Una, number one. She's on a planet. She's mistaken for somebody else. And she just leans into it. The whole crew just leans into it and act like nothing. Like they're actually somebody else. They just lean into it. It's great. Now, this is a very doable thing. And I've actually done this in real life at times. You know, for whatever, I can't remember the reason for, but I've actually done that. And it's hard to do. Yeah, I'm crazy. It was nothing nefarious, but sometimes just do weird stuff. But anyways, they did it so naturally. Now, of course, they're actors, but they're not actors in the show. It's just the way they were able to do that. Now, it turns out as they're playing these people, being these people, they find out that there's like this resistance on this planet, there's oppressive Klingons. The Klingons are very impressive, as I said in the beginning. So real quick, before any further, the Klingons basically run this world. They kind of play like the Nazi kind of vibe, where the resistance is kind of like French resistance, in World War II, I believe that is. The Klingons are kind of occupying this planet. And real quick, before I go any further about Una, the Klingon guy, the main dude, is played phenomenally well. As someone that's seen like every episode of Trek and everything's been out, with the exception of a few of the cartoon on Netflix, I mean, the portrayal of this Klingon, phenomenal, great job. One of my favorite Klingon portrayals, besides War from the Next Generation guys, is the guy from The Undiscovered Country, I believe. Yeah, I love that. That is a great depiction of a Klingon in my book. But this dude, for a guest star role play Klingon, he owned it. Like, he just was so good at it. I love this actor. I don't even look to what it was, but he was phenomenal as a Klingon. It'd be interesting to see about the makeup and say, oh, I know that dude. Great job. Anyways, back to Una. So Una finds out and trying to get off the planet. Basically, the Klingons have occupied this planet. And so she decides right there, it's like, I know we have this directive. I know we're not supposed to help these humans and interfere. She's like, F it, we're doing this. We're helping people. And then the doctor's like, bro, it's one thing to pretend to be here in the cafe, to be here, but to be here outside of it, it's a whole different game. And so Una, her story is that, she's genetically enhanced, and she had to hide that. She had to hide that genetic enhancement. And so she's used to playing something that she's not. Now, I feel all of us can relate to this on some level, honestly. But I kind of can relate to it a little bit more so than maybe some of the other people. Because if someone does the podcast and the art, the music, and I got my real stuff walking around, it's kind of like that Batman, Superman effect, like very, 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 very mild part of that. Because like I tell you multiple times on this podcast, a lot of people don't know I do this. A lot of people don't. Or rap or rhyme. And it's nothing nefarious, it just never comes up. And so like, I walk around with that kind of Clark Kent, Superman effect, Batman, Bruce Wayne, etc., Alfred Queen, Green Arrow, whatever you want to call it. A lot of times. So I know that. You kind of being something and not showing something. And I've kind of walked that path. And I feel there's a lot of humans in some capacity have experiences, have done this. Sometimes you want to let your full self out because you're ashamed of maybe what people might think or whatever, right? And she's like, no, I can do this. And she does it masterfully well. I mean, she should go work for Section 31. She was really good at it. And it looks like she was kind of enjoying it. Even Uhura, who's never walked this path, who can just sit there and live the cover. And she's having a conversation with the doctor. And the doctor explains to her how to do this. And it aligns with all the spy books I've ever read. Every spy book or spy I've ever read, that talk about, cover and having a legend. And the guys in the group that study this and are experts, I'm sure they would say that's true. Because, I'm not going to spoil it, you watch the show, but he lays out, if you're going to live a legend or be undercover, of what's the best way to do it. Because, the doctor has a lot of experience outside of medicine doing, war stuff, right? And he says, yeah, I'm a healer. But when I had to bring it, I had to bring it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that whole quote, like, do you want to be a gardener in a war, or war in a garden, or whatever it goes? Like, of course, to quote some famous psychologists out here, some famous people out here, I'm not going to name them, but they're saying, of course, make your body, make your mind, make everything strong. So if you have to, bring it, you can. But, don't do it unless you have to, right? It's kind of like I talked, I think, last episode before that. I mean, you're going to have to protect your family, protect your people, whatever. You want to be formidable human beings so you can do that, whatever metrics you need to make that happen. I have my own personal belief of what that takes. But he's saying, like, the doctor is built for that. He's a healer by nature. But if he has to protect his people or, do something, he's ready for that. And he is really ready for it. Now, a side note, the doctor in real life studies Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which already makes him a badass. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners, some of the baddest humans on planet Earth. Just watch UFC and you'll see what they can do. Like, they're phenomenally well position to handle the business when it comes to that. Tom Hardy is, by the way, as well. Just to mention that. There's a lot of people that partake in jiu-jitsu that are formidable dudes. I mean, jiu-jitsu will make you very formidable compared to some of the laymen that aren't doing that. So anyways, the doctor's ready for war and all that, and he's been there, so he explains it to Uhura. That's what you do. Now Uhura gets captured. She gets caught, and she's interrogated. Now, what I find fascinating about Uhura being interrogated, it's not fascinating. Being interrogated sucks, but I'm just saying that she was able to hold her own and not give it up the goods. She gave up the goods. Now, under interrogation, from the way I've seen it and saw and heard about it, it can be difficult, extremely difficult, especially depending on the methods. Right now, some methods just talking all day, keep you tired and worn out, not fed, and just run your mouth for hours. Right, that's one. And to get loud, to say loud words, and that can break you. I mean, just that. But then when you add the machine, she has some machine. I mean, who knows what it's like? I don't even know. I want a part of it to be clear. But she's able to handle it. I mean, how could she not? She's Uhura. Uhura is a legend. If you know the world of Star Trek, and you know Uhura, you know her, Nyota, right? Played by Nichelle Nichols originally. Talked to by Martin Luther King, said, don't quit. Like, literally, Martin Luther King said, you are representing African American people, you just stay here. Because she was gonna quit. She did not. And her character is iconic. So, of course, she's not gonna bend under interrogation. How could she? She's Uhura, man. She cannot. So, anyway, she holds her own. But did you expect any less? And then she kind of starts leaning in to the spy craft a little bit more after that, right? They all seem to be leaning into it. And of course, sports they win the day and they're able to get people evacuated from the occupied planet, and it's all good. But phenomenal episode, and Una was able to kind of play that role when it's necessary to be somebody else to cool Olive Queen, become somebody else, right? And I think on some level we all can do this, some more than others. I've really leaned into doing this podcast. I told you with the other episodes, like I am now the captain, like literally. But you see me walking around, I'm not gonna tolerate it. I'm not the captain going to get groceries. Like, it's not necessary. It's not necessary to be the captain in groceries. But in this space, the podcast space, I am the captain. I live the captain. I embody the captain. But it doesn't say it on my birth certificate, and I don't get groceries with it. But when it's time to bring the captain out, it can be done. Right, and this is what they're doing in the episode. It's all like, role playing and being something and all this. It's interesting, crazy stuff. So anyways, this episode, like all the other episodes, is phenomenal. But a little bit of spy twist. So if you have not seen this Star Trek Stranger Worlds episode or any of them, I highly recommend you go see Stranger Worlds. It's some of the best stuff they put out in the last few years. Everything else is good, but this is at the top of the stack, in my opinion. And to be clear, everything else is good to me as well, but this is just super really good. Reminds me of a throwback to the old school TNG days, TOS days, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, old school 90s Trek, if you like that 90s Trek. So yes, you should check this out and watch all the other Trek. Now I'll put the link to the show below with our Amazon Associates account. So if you want to see the episode, you can help the podcast out. We appreciate that. So yes, thanks for joining us. I appreciate you. And until next time, we'll see you. If you're going to be damned, you better be damned for who you really are. Jean-Luc Picard. Until next time, it's Captain P.
The Captain Talk Flicks.